Hello, welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a good day. And today I want to talk about people who assume way too much. People love to assume everything that they think they know about you. But I think a lot of times, especially in the heat of the moment when people are just riled up in their emotions, people are just flat out guessing. There's no real calculated assumption. These are just thoughts solely based on how they feel in the moment. And there's really no real truth to it. People assume way too much, way too often, I think, especially women. No offense to women. But that's of course because we know that women are just way more emotional at heart. So why do people assume things about you? And maybe why do they do it all the time? Because people often think they know it all, and they often think they know everything about you. And that's funny because ironically, the whole point of why someone assumes in the first place is because of a lack of information. But be careful with these people who like to assume all the time, and they're always assuming, especially like assuming negatively about you. Be careful with these people because you can't tell these people anything. They know everything already. These kinds of people seem to love neglecting responsibility and owning up to their own actions. They have every excuse in the book under their belt. They always have to have the last word. They never have no real solid evidence to any of their statements, or at least the ones that are most important in the situation or at the moment. They may say a lot of half-truths. For sure, they twist the words of righteousness. For sure. For sure, they love shifting the blame and being manipulative. If you know someone who's like this, there's really nothing that you can tell them because they always are going to have the last word. They always have an excuse. They always have their own reasoning, their own justification, self-righteousness. So there's just really nothing that you can tell these kind of people. I think one of the best things that you can do is just leave them alone. You don't need to respond. You don't need to reply, react, none of that. Just, okay. Just leave them be. What I have learned from these kind of people and how to be toward them, I've learned that you don't want to be so much as like a mirror to them, doing to them what they are doing to you. Instead, I've learned to be more of a reflector. Like when you shine a light at a reflector and it just goes right into your eyes and you're like, whoa. That's what I've learned, to be more of a reflector and not a mirror. You don't do to them what they're doing to you. No, instead you show them what they're doing. So a reflector's like the energy that they are giving to you, you just let it bounce off of you and just give it right back to them, but not in a way where you're being cruel to them or you're being the way that they are being, but instead in a way that shows them light. Of course, they're not shining light on you. It's more like a darkness, like a dark kind of light, because in a way they think they're all good and everything, but just as a reflector, it kind of reflects that and it just gives it to them. You don't need to react negatively or respond hatefully, full of hate or full of rage. Instead, you can show some class and be gentle and be smart about it. Maybe take a breath. That's always a good thing to do in that situation. take a breath. It lets you reset all your gears. It helps you to think. That way you don't respond the way that they are. Because in the moment, you might be mad or upset or even sad. And we don't want to be led by our emotions, really by our heart. We want to be led by our mind. So the smart thing to do is to use our mind. And I think in the moment, you'll have a couple of options that you can do. For sure, one is just to not even respond, just get away. Like I always say, look away, get away, and stay away. So for sure, that's one option you can do. Or you can respond in a loving manner if that's possible. But you got to be careful with your love. You don't want to be giving it out foolishly, because people will stomp all over your love, and then you're the one that gets hurt in the end. And of course, we know 2 wrongs don't make a right, never. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope this has helped you, and I hope you have a good day. Peace.